A ceasefire has come into effect between Israel and Lebanon after weeks of intense fighting. But even as the truce begins, airstrikes, shelling, and deep mistrust are raising questions about whether the pause will hold. And global markets are already reacting. Here's what you need to know. A 10-day ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon has officially begun. After an announcement by US President Trump said the truce includes Hezbollah and revealed that Israeli and Lebanese leaders could meet in Washington in the coming weeks. The ceasefire follows weeks of escalating violence that have left more than 2,100 people dead in Lebanon. But the hours before the truce took effect were anything but calm. In the final push before the ceasefire began, Israeli forces carried out hundreds of strikes across Lebanon. Hezbollah, meanwhile, said it launched dozens of attacks against Israeli forces and settlements during the period. Residents across Beirut reported hearing heavy bombardment right up till the final moments before the ceasefire started. The escalation suggested both sides were trying to inflict maximum damage before the pause. Even after the ceasefire came into force, the situation remained tense. Lebanese media reported Israeli artillery shelling in parts of southern Lebanon, along with continued reconnaissance flights over the Bekaa Valley. Israel has said it will retain the right to act in self-defense under the terms of the agreement. Israeli military spokesperson Avichai Andrea also warned residents in southern Lebanon not to move south of the Litani River, saying troops would maintain their positions for now, for civilians displaced by the fighting. The ceasefire brings hope but also caution. Many families in Beirut and southern Lebanon are waiting to see if the truce holds before returning home. Hezbollah and allied political groups have urged people to delay their return until the situation becomes clearer. Still, scenes of celebrations and relief were reported in parts of Beirut, where displaced residents have spent weeks sleeping in the streets. The ceasefire is also facing criticism from some leaders in northern Israel. Officials in several regional councils say the agreement does not go far enough and warn it could leave communities vulnerable if Hezbollah remains armed near the border. They argue that any lasting settlements would require the group's disarmament and stronger security guarantees. The ceasefire announcement also moved global markets. US stock indexes included the S&P 500 and Nasdaq closed at record highs, as investors reacted to hopes that tensions in the Middle East could ease. At the same time, oil prices continued to rise because shipping disruptions remain around the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most important energy routes. That means energy markets are still bracing for a possible supply shocks. So while the ceasefire is now technically in place, the situation remains fragile. Whether this pause leads to real negotiations or another round of fighting could shape both regional stability and global energy markets in the weeks ahead.